Hey folks, how's it going? So today's job is with this Husqvarna 550 XP. It's 2015 saw, and basically the bore and piston are all scorn, so they've burnt up, and we have a new one to fit. So let's tear into it and get this job done and get this saw back to working. Got a bar and chain to put on it, brand new, and we'll do some cutting and give it a good test. Let's get to it. So for your top cover, you've got these 3 clips. I'm using a pick, but the flathead tool will do it. So air filter held on with this 1 clip here. And off she comes. It's fairly clean. I think the saw was basically well maintained before it decided to mess up. I think it's reading up. It's quite common on these saws for this this problem. So now this carb is all held in with these 2 rubber buffer pads here, 1 each side. You can flick them off. And it gives you access to the Allen key bolts right here. Get them up on camera. Just about to see them there. Let's get them off. Get these out with the pick. There we go. So you've got 1 pipe here, pops off, and then you got the for the primer bulb. You got 2 lines here, 1 to the carb, and then this one. You get the pick behind, you should be able to pop it off. That goes down to the tank. You got 2 power cables there for the on-off switch. Might just leave that hanging. It should come off with the carb, and the carb comes off. So and then you got 1 more fuel line here, and then you got the throttle cable. If you push the throttle cable back, you should be able to just flick that cable right off there. And then the that fuel pipe there, and then the carb comes out. There is a connector at the back here. You flick that out. You should be able to unplug it there, and then all that assembly comes off. You're going to want to flick this fuel pipe out the way, and this throttle cable as well. Throttle cable pops out the bottom. There's a slit right there that it pops out of. And then this assembly, the carb rubber manifold, intake manifold, whatever you want to call it, should come out with the cylinder. We got to bolt all that onto the new cylinder. So we got 1 vibration mount here. I think it should be So most of the fasteners are on here number 4 Allen key. So undo that, chuck your tools across the shop, and that brings that mount across. Might be easy actually to remove this handle. It'll give us better access to the top here for when we put the piston in, the little circlips in, and so 2 fasteners on the side and then 2 fasteners underneath. And then you can walk this bar handle straight off the back there. So next job is get this exhaust off, and then we can get the cylinder bolts out. Let's get this exhaust off. There is 2 fasteners missing on this, so we'll have to find 2 to go there. So this went to another shop previously, and they took the exhaust off, obviously lost 2 bolts, and told them that the piston had gone in it. You can see up in there, so you can get the light up in there, and we'll should be able to see the fingers scorn. A bit bright that, isn't it? Doesn't look good anyway. Looks rough. A lot of better look when we get it out. Let's get these out of the way. Let's get this plug out. What size is that? So let's get the head off now. It's got 4 bolts down these holes here. So get down there and crack them off. One was loose. So the guy wanted a new bar and chain for this, and really I should have moved the side casing. I ordered one for this chainsaw, and it was a 0.325 pitch on it, so hopefully it's the right bar and chain. He wanted a 20-inch bar on it. What's just about alright for these. So once that, there you go. And try to keep that gasket in good place, because the in good condition, because the The new one doesn't come with them. That's that manifold. It's got four bolts, and that comes off. So. There we have it. Piston. The scoring's not the worst I've seen, but it's definitely scorned. This saw, it fires up. Let's get this clip out here. So there's two of them on either side. You only really need to remove one and slide the pin out there. And the kit comes with a new bearing, so take that bearing out. So that's scoring on the piston there. I've seen a lot worse where the ring gets stuck in the piston, but you can feel the damage on the ring there. Sweet. So there, you can see the scoring just down in there. Try to get that light, and it is rough. Got some deep grooves right there, right by the exhaust port. So let's get these bits on the new head. We'll get the piston in place, and yeah, go back together. So I've got a bit of 2-stroke oil in here, and I'm just going to give these parts a quick rub down with this oil. Give it a fighting chance. That's new bearing in. Try to get this clip in without it pinging across the workshop here. These are a tight fitment. Don't know if it was in frame then, but that's that one in. Put one in, then we'll put one in on once we put the piston on. Put that side in so we can get through from this side. The arrow on top of the piston points towards the exhaust, so it goes that way. Get a bit of oil on this pin here. You can walk that through that new bearing, like so. And then we've got the next clip to go in. We are in. You want to double check them, make sure they are seated in the little groove, because if one of those comes out, it just scores all the side of the ball and piston, and that's your new ball and piston dead. You can just about see, pick it, the groove there, what it fits into. The clip needs to clip into there and snap into that place. Let's double check these ones. They look good. So let's get this off, put it on the new one. So there's 4 Allen keys to hold this on, 4 Allen key fasteners. Using multi-tools because I can't find where I've put my Allen keys. So struggling a bit here. Two down. Don't forget throw your tools about. And then the last one. I get this apart without breaking up the gasket too much. Can't remember if these are a gasket or it's the manifold that sits up with the rubber up to the face. Oh yeah, it is the manifold that sits up with the rubber face there. That's not too bad. I'll wipe down. There's this rubber grommet here, needs to come out. That goes in this hole here. And it hooks into it up here, look, there we are. That hooks into the top there. Like so. And then there we have it. Let's get them bolts back in and fasteners, whatever you want to call them, and get that torqued up, and should be able to put the pot on the piston then. It's not too bad on this, there's only one ring, so it's not that hard. It's not like you got like a 4-stroke, 2 rings and an oil ring to get in. haven't got to go super tight with these. You know, you are screwing into aluminium, so you don't really want to go stripping them threads out. Sweet. Gasket. Let's get this over. And put some two-stroke in the board here. Cylinder. Do a coating on this piston too. May smoke for a bit when we first start it, but at least we know it isn't grinding. Get these bits out of the way. And then just gently ease that ring in. Make sure you line the ring up with the notch there. And ease it on down. Sure that gasket's in place, not pinching it. We are in. Just make sure these fuel pipes aren't going to get trapped or anything. That one goes there like so, and then the throttle cable goes back in its groove there, he says. There we go. Well, let's get these fasteners in the top and get this new cylinder bolted down. Each one comes with a spacer and the bolt to fit through from the top, so you haven't got to worry about try and get the spacers in from the side there. So you want these tight, but you don't want to go crazy on them. The bottom end is alley as well, so give her a pull over. Sounds good. So let's get this carburetor back in. We've got the one power cable. It connects the all the carb to the coil, and I'm not sure what it does. I think it advances in the timing to the throttle. Just line this up. As you push this in, there's a fuel pipe has to locate into the fuel tube there. Sweet. That looks good. Definitely in, and then we'll get this throttle cable around. Again, do the same backwards, just throttle it up. She'll fit right back in there, like so. Get the pipe on here, so get the fuel primer pipe back on. That one goes there, and then the second one goes to the top of the carburetor there. You want to make sure this pin right here goes into this groove, and that's for the choke and that. So we'll get that rubber back in place. Mind you, we'll get the bolts back in first. You can get them two fasteners back in. If I can find where to put them. Here they are. Like so. Get them tightened down. Like these, they come apart really easy. They're not hard to work on. Can just be quite fiddly at times. The trick is to only take off what you need to take off. So if you can leave as much as you can in place, it make it a quicker job. But it is easier sometimes just to remove it all. So get them rubber bushes back on, and then you've got this one pipe here for the breather. And we can now put on air cleaner. It's fairly clean already. Get a new plug in there. Like so. Get the decompression valve in there. Get that installed. What size is that? $13mm. Come with that rubber seat there. Sweet. Let's get this exhaust on, and then we can get the handle back on and the engine mounts there, and get the top cover back on. We'll get some fuel in it, and we'll give her a fire, first fire. Try and get it to where you can see what I'm doing. Get this handle back on. Walk it on from here. Awkward thing. There we go. So the bottom two of the shorter pins there. And two longer pins for the side there. And then we got the one in here we need to get in. That bolts into the side of the cylinder head there. Sweet. Looks good. So we're ready to give it a test fire. Check the fuel, see if we've got a bit of fuel to fire it with. No, we're empty. Let's get some fuel in it. As you can manage, yeah, I got that everywhere. Yeah. See how she goes, see if she'll fire. Sounds good. what I'll do is we'll go get the bar and chain, and then I'll let it sit for a bit idling, and then we'll cut some wood with it. So let's see if I ordered the right bar. Let's get these nuts off here. And we still need to get 2 fasteners for that exhaust. But we should be able to test it and do that after. So I haven't got, you can use a push grease gun here to grease the bearing on the inside. What they also do your flat screwdriver fits just about there, and if you give it a tap, and off she comes. Make sure you leave your spark plug in when you do that, because it uses a compression as a dead stop there. Oh, 325. Yeah, I got the right one. Good. We'll get some grease on this bearing, and we'll get it back together. Oh, just before I put it back together, I'll show you. So you see the little hole there. That oil way goes all the way to the end of the shaft, and then you can use a push grease gun to grease your bearings on these. It's a good design without stripping it down, because it can be a nightmare stripped down. Put a coating of grease on that bearing so it's ready for work. Sweet. So once you cut into a log, this will tighten up. You haven't got to worry too much about it. I just hate it when they tangle up. There we go. This is a full chisel, made by Reattaching. I don't really know much about these chains, but they're cheap and the bars are cheap, so I imagine they're amazing, like, but I prefer to destroy a cheap bar than destroy a expensive bar. Sweet. Put the side casing on. Wind this all the way back. There we go. Yeah, let's tighten this up. seems good. Wrong tool. Once you get your chain tensioner just right, you can tighten your side casing up. But then you want to check your chain after as well, because when you tighten the side casing up, you can sometimes make the chain a bit tighter. So let's go give it a try. So there we have it, 550 XP, piston and cylinder replacement, and it's back to working condition. Customer will be happy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.